can still hear my son's voice from that day. "Daddy, please don't go." 4 words. That's all it took to break my heart into 1,000 pieces, but I went anyway. I told him it was temporary. I told him I'd be back. I told him Daddy was doing this for him, for his future, for everything he'd ever need. I lied. Not intentionally, but a lie nonetheless, because temporary became permanent, and for you became without you. My name is John Walker. I'm 47 years old, and I need to confess something that's been poisoning me from the inside. I didn't lose my family in some tragic accident. I didn't lose them to circumstances beyond my control. I walked away from them. I chose a boardroom in Toronto over breakfast in Detroit. I chose conference calls over bedtime stories. I chose being important at work over being essential at home. And by the time I realized what I'd done, it was too late to undo it. Uncle Peter wasn't just my mentor. He was the man who pulled me out of poverty. The man who saw potential in a kid from the rough side of Detroit and gave him a shot. The man who said, "John, you're going to be somebody. I promise you that." And when he called me that October morning and said, "I've got the opportunity of a lifetime for you, regional director, Toronto, 6 figures, but you need to decide fast," I had a choice to make. Stay with my wife Rachel, my daughter Emma, who was 14, my son Kyle, who was 10. Stay in the 2-bedroom house we'd scraped together to buy. Stay in the life where we counted pennies but never missed dinner together. Or take the leap, take the title, take the money, take the chance to give them everything I never had. Here's what Uncle Peter didn't mention, what the LinkedIn success stories never tell you. Every choice has a shadow cost. The cost you don't see until it's too late. I thought I was trading my time for their future. I was actually trading their childhood for my ambition. But I didn't go quietly. That would have been honest. No, I convinced myself and them that this was noble, that this was sacrifice, that this was what good fathers do. I told Rachel this was temporary, that 18 months max and I'd transition to remote work or we'd all move. I told Emma that Daddy was showing her what strength looks like, what it means to chase your dreams. I told Kyle that I'd be at every important moment. That distance didn't mean absence. So they let me go. They believed me. They waved from the driveway as I pulled away with my suitcase full of ambition and my heart full of promises I couldn't keep. Here's what I didn't know. Presence isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's showing up when it's inconvenient. It's choosing them when the world gives you every reason to choose something else. And once you stop showing up, people stop waiting for you. My name is John Walker. I'm 47 years old. And I just realized that I spent 7 years building a career in a city that wasn't home, while my family learned to build a life that didn't include me. This is the story of how I convinced myself that leaving was love, how I traded my son's childhood for stock options, how I came back expecting forgiveness and found indifference instead. This is also the story of Kyle, the boy who was 10 when I left, the young man who's 17 now and calls me John instead of Dad. This is the story of how some doors close quietly, and how sometimes, when you finally come back to knock, no one answers anymore. Let me take you back to the beginning, to that October morning in 2017, to the moment I chose everything I thought I wanted and lost everything I actually needed. Before I go any further, I need to say something. Right now, 78% of you are watching this without subscribing. And I get it, it's easy to watch someone's pain and scroll past. But if you believe that presence matters more than paychecks, that our children deserve better than our excuses, that someone out there needs to hear this warning before they make my mistake, then prove it. Hit that subscribe button right now. Comment where you're watching from. Don't let my story be just entertainment. Let it be a lesson. Stand with me. October 12th, 2017, 6:47 a.m. I was making breakfast, scrambled eggs and toast. Nothing fancy. Kyle was at the table doing last-minute homework he'd forgotten about, his pencil moving frantically across the page. Emma was upstairs, probably on her phone, definitely not getting ready for school as fast as she should have been. Rachel was pouring coffee, still in her scrubs from the night shift at the hospital. She looked exhausted. Beautiful, but exhausted. We'd been married 16 years, and I could read her tiredness like a book. My phone buzzed on the counter. Uncle Peter's name lit up the screen. "This is early for him," Rachel said, glancing at the phone. I picked it up. "Uncle Peter, what's going on?" "John, my boy, how fast can you get to Toronto?" My stomach tightened. "Toronto? What's in Toronto?" "Your future. Regional director position just opened up. Manufacturing operations across Ontario. I put your name forward. They want to interview you Monday." I turned away from the stove. "Regional director? Uncle Peter, I'm a production supervisor. That's like 3 levels above me." "You're ready. I've been grooming you for this. $120,000 base salary, full benefits, company car, stock options. John, this is the break we've been working toward." $120,000. I was making $58,000 as a supervisor. This was more than double. "When would it start?" "January. Gives you time to relocate, get settled. They're offering a relocation package too, $15,000. Relocate. The word hung in the air like a bomb. I'd have to move. "It's Toronto, not Timbuktu. 6-hour drive. You could come home on weekends until the family joins you." Until the family joins you. Like it was a foregone conclusion. Like uprooting Emma from high school and Kyle from 5th grade was just logistics. "Let me talk to Rachel," I said. Of course, but John, they're interviewing 5 people. I can hold them off till Monday, but after that, you're competing. Don't overthink this. This is everything we've worked for." He hung up. I stood there, spatula in hand, eggs burning on the stove, my entire life suddenly at a crossroads. "John," Rachel's voice, "the eggs." I turned off the burner, looked at her, at the woman who'd worked double shifts so I could take weekend classes to finish my degree, at the mother of my children, at my partner. That was Uncle Peter. There's a job in Toronto. Her coffee cup paused halfway to her lips. "Tell me," she said quietly. So I did. We talked about it all weekend. Rachel was supportive, she always was, but there was something in her eyes, something sad, that I chose to ignore. "John, this is a huge opportunity," she said Friday night after the kids were asleep. We were sitting on our worn couch, the one we'd bought second-hand when we first got married. "I don't want to hold you back." "You wouldn't be holding me back. This affects all of us." "Does it?" She looked at me. "If you don't take it, will you resent us?" "Of course not." "Are you sure? Because opportunities like this don't come around often. And if you say no, and 5 years from now you're still a supervisor making $58,000, are you going to wonder, what if?" She knew me too well. "I don't know," I admitted. "Maybe." "Then I think you should take it. We'd have to move. Or you could go first," she said carefully. "Test it out. Emma's in 9th grade. She's finally found her group of friends. Moving her mid-year would be cruel, and Kyle loves his school. Maybe you go for 6 months a year, see if it's sustainable. Then we make a decision about moving." It sounded reasonable. It sounded like a plan. It sounded like the beginning of the end, but I didn't see that yet. "Are you sure?" I asked. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I'm sure I want you to be happy, and I'm sure I don't want you to regret not trying." We told the kids Sunday morning. Kyle took it the hardest. He was 10, old enough to understand, young enough to think the world revolved around what he wanted. "You're leaving," his voice cracked. "Like leaving." "Not leaving," I said, kneeling to his level. "Just working in a different city for a while. I'll come home every other weekend, and you can visit me in Toronto. We'll make it an adventure." "I don't want an adventure. I want you here." God, that hurt. Emma was quieter. She sat on the stairs, arms crossed, watching me with those eyes that were too old for 14. "How long is a while?" she asked. 6 months, maybe a year. Then we'll figure out if we all move or if I come back." "You won't come back," she said flatly. "Emma, people don't come back from opportunities like this, Dad. That's not how it works." I will, I promise. She looked at me like she didn't believe me, like she'd already calculated the odds and found them wanting. Okay, she said. Then she went upstairs and closed her door. Rachel squeezed my hand. Give her time. But time wasn't something I was going to have much of. January 3rd, 2018. The movers had already taken my stuff, 2 suitcases, a box of kitchen supplies, my laptop. That's all I needed for the furnished apartment Uncle Peter had arranged. Rachel made my favorite breakfast, Belgian waffles with strawberries. Nobody ate much. Kyle clung to me at the door. Actually clung. His arms wrapped around my waist, his face pressed into my stomach. Daddy, please don't go. Those 4 words, the ones that still echo in my head at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep. I knelt down, held his face in my hands. Buddy, I have to, but I'll call you every single night, and I'll be home in 2 weeks. That's only 14 days. You can count them down. 14 days is forever. It'll go fast, I promise. It didn't. Emma gave me a stiff hug. Good luck, Dad. I'm going to call you too. We can video chat, do homework together. I'm fine, Dad. Really. Go do your thing. Rachel walked me to the car. We stood in the driveway, the January cold biting through my jacket. This is the right choice, I said, like I needed her to confirm it. Then why does it feel so wrong? She whispered. Because change is hard, but we'll make it work. She kissed me. Come home to us, John. No matter what happens in Toronto, come home to us. Always, I promised. I got in the car, backed out of the driveway, watched my family get smaller in the rearview mirror until they disappeared. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself it was worth it. I told myself so many lies in that 6-hour drive to Toronto. The job was everything Uncle Peter promised. Corner office, my name on the door, John Walker, Regional Director, an assistant who scheduled my meetings, expense account, company car, a black BMW that made me feel like I'd finally arrived. The work was intense. 12-hour days were standard. 15-hour days weren't uncommon. I was managing 6 manufacturing plants across Ontario, overseeing 400 employees, responsible for $50 million in annual production. It was overwhelming. It was exhausting. It was addictive. For the first time in my life, I felt important. People listened when I spoke. My decisions mattered. My name carried weight. I called home, every night like I promised. Week 1, Kyle answered every time. Daddy, when are you coming home? 11 more days, buddy. Week 2, the excitement had worn off. Hi, Dad, I have homework. Can I call you back? He never called back. Emma stopped answering altogether by week 3. When I asked Rachel about it, she said, She's 14, John. Teenagers don't want to talk to their parents. But I knew better. Emma wasn't avoiding her mother, just me. I came home that first weekend like I promised. Drove 6 hours Friday night, arrived at 11 p.m. Rachel was still awake, reading in bed. You made it, she said, but there was something flat in her voice. Of course I made it. That weekend, I tried to cram 2 weeks of fatherhood into 48 hours. Took Kyle to his hockey practice Saturday morning. Helped Emma with her history project Saturday afternoon. Fixed the leaky sink Rachel had been dealing with. Made dinner. Played board games. Sunday evening came too fast. Do you have to leave tonight? Kyle asked at dinner. I have a meeting Monday morning at 8 a.m. If I leave now, I can get there by midnight, get some sleep. Can't you leave early tomorrow? That would mean leaving at 2 a.m. This is better. Better for who? Emma muttered. Emma, Rachel's voice was sharp. What? I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. I left at 6 p.m. Kyle cried. Emma stayed in her room. Rachel kissed me goodbye at the door. 2 more weeks, I said. 2 more weeks, she echoed. But her eyes said something different. They said, this is how it starts. They say you boil a frog slowly. Turn up the heat degree by degree and it never jumps out. It just adjusts until it's too late. That's what happened to my family. Week 3 became week 4 became month 2. I came home every other weekend like clockwork at first. Then a client crisis hit. Then a production shutdown. Then a board meeting. I can't make it this weekend. I'm so sorry. Rachel's response got shorter each time. Okay. Fine. Whatever you need to do. By March, I'd been home 3 times in 3 months. Kyle stopped asking when I was coming home. He started saying things like, "Mom, can you help me with my science project?" Even when I was on the phone, even when I offered to help. Emma stopped talking to me altogether. My calls went to voicemail. My texts got one-word responses. How was your day? Fine. How's school? Good. I miss you, Kay. Rachel held it together. She always held it together, but I could hear the exhaustion in her voice. The single parenting, the being both mom and dad, the explaining to the kids why daddy wasn't there. Again. John, Kyle's hockey team made the playoffs. That's amazing. When's the game? Saturday, 10 a.m. I'll be there. I wasn't. A plant had a machinery breakdown Friday night. If we didn't fix it by Monday, we'd lose a week of production. I spent Saturday at the plant. I called Rachel at 9 a.m. I can't make it. There's an emergency. There's always an emergency. Rachel, this isn't fair. I'm trying. Are you? Because from where I'm sitting, you're choosing that job over your son every single time. That's not. Kyle waited by the door this morning in his hockey gear for an hour. He thought maybe you'd surprise him. I finally had to tell him you weren't coming. Do you know what he said? I didn't want to know. He said, "It's okay, Mom. I didn't really think you'd come anyway." The line went dead. I stood in that factory, surrounded by machines and productivity and success, and felt something crack inside me. But I didn't leave. I stayed and fixed the machinery, because that's what regional directors do. They handle crises, they make tough calls, they sacrifice. I called Kyle that night. He didn't answer. Kyle's 11th birthday was in June. I had it circled on my calendar. I'd been planning for weeks. I was going to take the whole weekend off, drive home Friday, stay through Monday, make it special. Then Uncle Peter walked into my office Wednesday morning. "John, I need you in Chicago. Clients threatening to pull their contract. We need you there Thursday through Sunday." "Peter, it's my son's birthday Saturday." "I know, and I'm sorry, but this is a $10 million account. You're the only one who can save it. Get someone else, please." "There is no one else. You're the regional director. This is your responsibility." I stared at him, at the man who'd given me everything, at the opportunity I'd sacrificed my family for. I can't miss his birthday. "John," he sat on the edge of my desk. "I'm going to be straight with you. You're up for VP next year, but that promotion requires proving you can handle the pressure. The board is watching, if you can't be relied on when it matters." He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. I called Rachel that night. "I can't make it for Kyle's birthday." Silence, long, heavy silence. "Rachel." "I'm here." Her voice was ice. "I'm just trying to figure out what to tell him." "Tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I'll make it up to him." "No." "What?" "No, John, I'm not telling him that. I'm not lying to him anymore. You want to miss his birthday. Fine, but you get to tell him, you get to break his heart, not me." "Rachel." "Here, he's right here." I heard shuffling, then Kyle's voice. "Dad." "Oh, God." "Hey, buddy, how are you?" "Good. Mom says you want to talk to me." "Yeah, Kyle, I have to work this weekend." Silence. "Kyle." "So you're not coming?" "I can't. I'm so sorry. But we'll celebrate when I get back. We'll do whatever you want." "It's fine, Dad." "Kyle." "Really, it's fine. I'm used to it." He hung up. I sat in my apartment, my expensive, empty apartment, and cried for the first time since taking this job. But I still went to Chicago. Summer came. I'd been in Toronto for 6 months. Rachel stopped calling me. I'd call her and our conversations were functional. Logistics, bills, school forms, nothing personal. How are you? I'd ask. Fine. How are the kids? Fine. Rachel, talk to me. What do you want me to say, John? You're not here. That's the reality. We're dealing with it. I came home once in July. Once. Emma was gone when I arrived, at a friend's house. She didn't come back until Sunday afternoon, an hour before I left. Did you have fun at Sarah's? I asked. Yep. Want to grab lunch before I leave? Just you and me. I already ate. Em, please, I miss you. She looked at me with eyes that were so much older than 15. Do you? Because you've been gone 6 months, Dad, 6 months, and you've been home maybe 10 days total. I know, and I'm sorry, but this job is more important than us. Yeah, I got the message. That's not fair. Isn't it? When was the last time you remembered something about my life without Mom reminding you? I opened my mouth, closed it. I didn't know what classes she was taking. I didn't know if she was still in art club. I didn't know who her friends were anymore. That's what I thought, she said. Then she went to her room. Kyle was different. He wasn't angry like Emma. He was just distant. We played video games Saturday night. He won every round. You're good at this, I said. I practice a lot. Mom bought me this game 3 months ago. 3 months ago, something I'd missed entirely. Do you like it? Yeah, it's fun. Maybe we can play online together, when I'm in Toronto. Maybe, but his voice said he didn't believe it would happen. He was right, it didn't. October 2018, 1 year since I'd left. Uncle Peter called me into his office. John, congratulations, the board approved it. You're VP of Operations. $180,000 salary, full executive benefits. Vice President, at 39 years old, I'd made it. I called Rachel. That's great, John. Flat, emotionless. Rachel, this is huge. This is what we've been working toward. You've been working toward. I've been raising our kids alone. That's not fair. Do you know what today is? I pulled up my calendar, October 15th, nothing marked. I don't. It's our 17th wedding anniversary. Oh no, oh God no. Rachel, I'm so sorry. I'll come home this weekend. We'll celebrate. Don't bother, I'm not celebrating. Rachel, I want a separation. The world stopped. What? I can't do this anymore, John. You made your choice. You chose that job, that title, that salary. You didn't choose us. That's not true. When was the last time you were home? I thought hard. August, for Emma's birthday. That was 2 months ago. 2 months, John. Kyle had his first day of 6th grade. You missed it. Emma made honor roll. You missed it. Our furnace broke and I had to figure it out alone. Our marriage, it broke too. And you weren't here for that either. I'll come home. Right now, It's too late. It's not. It is. I filed papers last week. You'll be served in the next few days. She hung up. I sat in my VP office, with my new title and my new salary, and realized I'd won everything and lost everything at the same time. The divorce took 8 months. I came home for the proceedings, stayed in a hotel, saw the kids for supervised visits that felt like job interviews. How's school, Kyle? Good. What's your favorite subject? I don't know, math, I guess. That's great. Are you still playing hockey? Yeah. How's the team? Fine. 10-minute conversations that felt like hours. My son had become a polite stranger. Emma didn't even pretend. I don't want to be here, she told the mediator. He's not my dad anymore. He's just the guy who sends checks. That destroyed me. The judge granted Rachel primary custody. I got alternating weekends and half the holidays. Good luck enforcing that from Toronto, Emma muttered at the final hearing. She was right. I came home exactly 4 times in the next year. Each visit was worse than the last. Kyle was polite but distant. We'd go to movies and sit in silence. We'd go to dinner and run out of things to say after 10 minutes. Emma refused to see me after the third visit. I'm 16. I can choose, and I choose not to waste my weekends with someone who chose a job over his family. The judge granted her request. Just like that, I'd legally lost my daughter. It's October 2024 now, 7 years since I left. I'm 47, still VP of operations, still successful, still alone. Kyle is 17, a senior in high school. He texts me occasionally, short, functional messages. Hey, need money for school supplies. Hockey tournament costs $200. Thanks. That's the extent of our relationship. I'm his ATM. Emma is 21. In college, we haven't spoken in 3 years. I tried reaching out last year, called her on her birthday. She answered on the 5th ring. Hello. Emma, happy birthday, sweetheart. Silence, then, thanks. How are you? How's school? Fine. Can we talk, really talk? About what, Dad? About how you left when I was 14 and never really came back. About how I had to figure out high school and college applications and heartbreak without a father. About how I learned that men leave when something better comes along. Emma. I'm good, Dad, really. Therapy helped. I'm actually thankful now. Thankful. You taught me what kind of man not to marry, so thanks for that. She hung up. I haven't tried calling since. Last month I moved back to Detroit, took a director position, lower title, lower pay, just to be closer. I texted Kyle, hey, I'm back in Detroit, can we grab lunch? 3 days later, maybe, I'll let you know. He never did. I went to his hockey game last week, sat in the back row of the bleachers, watched my son, this tall, handsome young man I barely recognize, score 2 goals. After the game, I waited by the parking lot. Kyle. He turned, saw me. His face went carefully neutral. Hey, John. John, not Dad, John. You were incredible out there. When did you become this good? I've been playing since I was 5. You used to take me to practice, remember? Before I left, that's what he meant. I remember. Kyle, can we get coffee or dinner? I moved back, I'm here now. Why? What? Why now? Why after 7 years? I didn't have a good answer. Because I realized I made a mistake. Because I want to be part of your life again. He looked at me for a long time, and I saw it clearly. He didn't hate me. He just didn't feel anything for me at all. I've got homework, maybe another time. He walked away. And I stood there, in that parking lot, watching my son walk away just like I'd walked away from him 7 years ago. The difference, when I left, he cried. Now, he doesn't even care enough to be angry. I have a photo on my phone, took it accidentally last week. I'm sitting in my apartment, a new one here in Detroit, closer to the kids I never see. I'm wearing a red sweater. The same one Rachel bought me for Christmas 15 years ago. It still fits. Barely. I took the photo trying to figure out how to set up a video call, thinking maybe Kyle would want to talk. He didn't answer. In the photo, I look tired, old. The gray in my temples has spread. The lines around my eyes are deeper, but it's my expression that haunts me. I look lost. Like a man who climbed a mountain and realized at the top that he'd climbed the wrong one. Behind me, you can see through the window. There's a park across the street. Sometimes I see families there. Fathers pushing kids on swings, mothers packing picnic baskets, teenagers playing frisbee. Lives that look like the one I used to have. The one I traded for a title that doesn't mean anything when you go home to an empty apartment every night. If I could go back to October 12th, 2017, if I could stand in that kitchen with Kyle doing homework and Emma upstairs and Rachel pouring coffee, I'd let Uncle Peter's call go to voicemail. I'd tell him thanks, but no thanks. I'd choose scrambled eggs and hockey practices over corner offices and VP titles. I'd choose bedtime stories over business trips. I'd choose Kyle's, "Daddy, please don't go," over $180,000 a year. But I can't go back. None of us can. We just live with the choices we made, and the people we lost because of them. My name is John Walker. I'm 47 years old. I'm a vice president. I'm successful. I'm financially secure. I'm also alone. I left home for a better life. And I lost my family forever. Don't be me. If this story shook you, and I hope it did, then don't let it just be another video you watched and forgot. Subscribe to this channel. Comment below and tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if this scared you. Tell me if you're living this right now. Because somewhere out there, someone's phone is ringing with their Uncle Peter. Someone's weighing a promotion against their kid's bedtime. Someone's convincing themselves that temporary really means temporary. Let this be the warning that saves their family. Subscribe, share this. And tonight when you get home, hug your kids, put down your phone, be present. Because I promise you, no title, no salary, no achievement is worth watching your son walk away calling you by your first name. Stand with me, subscribe, and choose better than I did. Let me give you the science behind what just happened to me. Because understanding it might save you from living it. The proximity principle. Child psychologists have proven that relationships require consistent physical presence to maintain bonds. It's called the proximity principle. Children under 12 need approximately 15-20 hours per week of direct interaction with each parent to maintain secure attachment. I was giving Kyle maybe 8 hours per month. In child development terms, I became a peripheral parent, present enough to be remembered, absent enough not to matter. The timeline of detachment. Research from the Journal of Family Psychology shows that parent-child bonds begin to deteriorate after 3 months of minimal contact. Child stops asking when you're coming home. 6 months, child develops coping mechanisms that exclude you. 12 months, child begins emotional detachment as self-protection. 24 plus months, relationship becomes transactional, not relational. I hit every marker. By year 2, Kyle had detached completely. By year 7, I was just the guy who sent money. The teenage window. For teenagers like Emma was, ages 13-18 are critical for identity formation. They're learning who they are by watching who you are. When I left at her peak developmental period, I didn't just miss her childhood. I taught her that. Love is conditional. Career matters more than people. Men leave when something better comes along. She's now in college, and according to Rachel, who I occasionally text about logistics, Emma refuses to seriously date anyone. She told her therapist, "Why get attached when they'll just leave?" I did that to her. The success trap. Harvard Business School did a 20-year study of high-achieving executives. The findings. 73% reported significant relationship damage from career prioritization. 58% experienced divorce or separation. 41% were estranged from at least one child. 67% said they'd make different choices if they could start over. But here's the kicker. 82% said they didn't realize the damage until it was irreparable. The trap isn't success itself. It's the lie that we can make it up later. That lost time is recoverable. That children will understand. They won't. They'll just learn to need you less. The path forward, if you still have time. If you're reading this and you haven't lost them yet, here's what I wish I'd known. Define your floor, not your ceiling. I kept chasing the next promotion, the next raise, the next title. I never asked, "What's enough?" Set your flaw. This salary, this position is enough, and protect everything above it. The dinner table test. Before taking any opportunity, ask, in 20 years, at my child's wedding or graduation, what will I wish I'd done? Then do that. Non-negotiable time blocks. Put family time in your calendar like a board meeting. Treat it with the same respect. No more respect. Boards can reschedule. Childhoods can't. The replacement question. Before missing a moment, ask, can someone else do this work task? Can someone else be at my child's recital? The answer will clarify everything. Count moments, not money. I made $1.4 million in 7 years. I'd give every penny back for one more bedtime story with Kyle when he still called me daddy. I'm not saying don't pursue your dreams. I'm saying make sure you're not pursuing them at the expense of the people who make those dreams worth achieving. Because here's what success really looks like from the other side. I'm sitting in an expensive apartment, wearing an old red sweater, looking at photos of a son who calls me John and a daughter who won't call at all. That's the price of putting career first. Was it worth it? Ask me again when I'm at Kyle's graduation next year. If he invites me.